It's your guy, Raiders Rebel. You know, back with the pop up live, real quick. So, the Kansas City Chiefs, man, it's Chief Week, and if you can't get pumped up for Chief Week, even if you're 0 and 7, right, 0 and 6, then man, you need to check your pulse, make sure that shit's working, because the Raiders and the Chiefs are always a good game, man, always a good game. Max Crosby gets fired up. Tyree Wilson gets fired up. Malcolm Kuntz gets fired up. So always a big game, man. Always fun. Always exciting. What's just happened on my screen? But we got some news. We got some news. Of course, Brock Bowers. What's good, Rated Menace? Appreciate you. Brock Bowers, of course, still not practicing, watching from the sidelines. But bigger news, we're starting to get special teams together, starting to get everything look like it, was a lot better. Yes, I know it was against the Titans. No excuse. It's still the NFL, and these are still 1% of 1%ers. But Dylan Labe, man, Dylan Labe dealing with the hamstring, has not practiced. Also, Jacoby Myers, and this is huge because there's already rumors flying off the charts that Jacoby Myers is going to be traded, and there's a very big possibility, right? But the news that I got was it's a knee injury and a toe injury that he's nursing. Reason why he's not participating out there, and it's only Wednesday, man. It's only Wednesday, so we got 3 more days, but. What it do, Godfather? So we got time, man. We got time. I want to talk about the trades. Should Jacoby Myers be traded? Should he not be traded? Should we wait? Let him continue playing on no guaranteed money, which, I think is just hideous for this Raiders organization to do Jacoby Myers like that. I mean, for what this guy has put into the team. Raiders, purple in the building. But for what this guy, he bleeds, sweats, Raiders. Now, this year, he hasn't been that great, right? I'll admit, he's been whiffing on a couple. But to let this guy go out there and play with no guaranteed money is not a good look for the franchise or for this organization. It's not a good look. What's good? So the best thing is to trade him. And, he didn't get a deal worked out. He asked to be traded. Could it be like the Devontae Adams where, they brought in Gardner Minshew instead of going with AOC, and he was like, I'm out. Because, before the season started, when they knew who the quarterback was going to be, he said, I'm out of here. Trade me. Is it all money? I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of people, birdies chirping in the ear, saying there's some problems in the locker room, right? There's some guys that, are starting to question, whether they bought into the right system, right? Whether they're buying into a bunch of bullshit when you see favoritism in the locker room with Geno Smith. So it's not a good look, man. It's not a good look. And, he requested a trade. They had one phone call. The rumors are the Giants and I forgot the other team. The Giants and somebody else have reached out to the Raiders. Rumors are about a Jacoby Myers trade. The Giants would be very, very interesting, right? You got a young guy like Jackson Dart over there. My guy I was screaming the Raiders should go get. Shout out to the 17 people in the building. Hit them like buttons. Do me a favor. I'd appreciate it. But, Jackson Dart lost Malik Neighbors. The best place for Jacoby Myers to go, if he was to be traded, would be the Giants, in my opinion. You go to New York. You help out a young kid that's a rookie. We've seen what he did with Aiden O'Connell, right? He made Aiden O'Connell's job easier, not dropping any passes last year. Jacoby Myers would be a huge, huge pickup for the Giants, who need that receiver. See all this shit going on. What's going on? What's going on? Raider Menace said Gino should be shipped. Oh, speaking of Gino, you mean this Gino right here? Gino! Yes, the shirts came in today. Yes, yes. They are on the website. They're on the website. So, that's it. Just the front. I will be rocking this on Sunday. My jersey will be off after the first interception. And this will be the new shirt for the rest of the year. For the rest of the year. Also, you know, speaking of Gino, we gotta get the Pete and Gino, bro. Gotta get the Pete and Gino, and we will be rocking that too for the rest of the year. So, candyangels.com/USA Unleashed in Apparel. What it do? What it do? Gino should be shipped to where? Nobody wants Geno Smith, bro. Who's gonna go get Geno Smith? Come on, the Raiders were out of their mind trading a third-round pick for Geno Smith. I've said that since day one on this channel, constantly. They were, I mean, a third-round pick for Geno, who was gonna get cut. They wanted Sam Darnold from the jump, so I don't know where he's gonna get shipped to. Ian Davis, what's good? West Side, Tania, what? You play hockey, missing a tooth. A lot of fights, bro. A lot of fights. Where you throwing the turbo on your daily driver, bud? I already got a turbo on the daily driver. The truck is loaded with the turbo. So, yeah. I smell an upset. Man, you know, Raider Nation would love an upset, bro. But it wouldn't be the first time, right? We don't have the cerebral assassin, right? The Kansas City, you know, the Kansas City killer in there, Aiden O'Connell, which has been the only quarterback since Derek Carr to beat, you know, to beat the Chiefs, whether it was the defense or not. Last year put up, you know, 340 yards, 2 tutties, no turnovers. I don't think we have the quarterback to do it this week, man. I really don't. Now, if Geno somehow puts it all together and, you know, plays out of his mind, maybe. Giants are suddenly good. Yeah, that's what happens when you draft well and you draft on character, not just talent. Because the NFL, they think to be a quarterback in the NFL, you got to be able to make plays with your legs. I mean, yeah, it worked for Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl, but how's it working for him this year? How did it work for him before that? How's it worked out for Lamar Jackson? When your quarterback is constantly running around taking a beating instead of standing in the pocket and throwing the football, man, that's a lot of millions of dollars, you know, just waiting for the wrong hit, the wrong late hit, you know, the wrong flag, land wrong. To me, if I'm a franchise, I'm getting a pocket passer. That the only time you run is if there's an open field and you can run and slide without getting hit. Other than that, I don't want my highest paid player, the team, you know, the franchise of the team running around. I'm sorry. So, when you get a quarterback that has that heart, that has that dog mentality, and Jackson Dart scares the hell out of me every time he runs because he's going to run like Cam Scatterboo, head first, you know, diving into people, throwing shoulders on the sidelines. The man is an animal. He plays football, you know, he plays the quarterback position like a linebacker. And when you have that kind of character and that kind of heart, you're going to win football games. You're going to win a lot of football games. And then you got a running back that's, you know, will run through brick walls. I mean, come on. The Giants cleaned house last year. The ball and whatever the hell their GM is deserves all the credit in the world, man. They walked out of there with Mimbu. They walked out of there with Jackson Dart, Scatterboo, and you got Abdul Carter in the same draft. Come on, man. That's 4 years worth, or at least 3 years worth of 3 years worth of starters in one draft, bro. In one draft. So yeah, the Giants are suddenly good. His helmet looks awful. Whose helmet? What you talking about? Why are you looking at my helmet, bro? Chiefs are licking their chops. I mean, they did hold Jahmyr Gibbs to 65 yards. Enough said, right? Enough said. Ashton Jeanty is special, but he's not Jahmyr Gibbs yet. The Chiefs, you know, I heard a lot of people say they have a problem stopping the run, and they have. But last week against the Lions, bro, they were lights out. They were not giving up any run yards. So if you can hold Jahmyr Gibbs under 65 yards, Chip Kelly has his work cut out for him. Ashton Jeanty has his work cut out for him. But most of all, the offensive line and the tight ends blocking in front of those guys have their work cut out for them. Rip it and flip it. What it do, what it do. Type of guy to fart in the toilet and flush. That's some dumb shit. What the fuck? Shout out to my guy. Why you keep damn, them shirts are shady. I don't give a shit. Geno not beating the Chiefs. I mean, it doesn't seem like it, right? It doesn't seem like it, the way he's playing with his, you know, his body language. He talks a hell of a game, right? His press conferences are big and tough. He's got his chest out. But when the game comes, he's sunken in them shoulders. Like, just watch his body language. So, I mean, I'm not saying Geno can't beat him because Aiden O'Connell throwing 64 yards, right, beat the Chiefs on Christmas Day. So, I mean, if Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders defense then could beat the Chiefs on Christmas Day, you know, I don't see why they can't do it again. Geo Mex in the building. Is Geno playing worse than AOC at this point, Rebel? Way worse. Way worse. Way worse, bro. I'm on the wrong phone, so I can't pull up any stats. Hold up. Let me see. Let's see if I can find them. Give me a second. What do we got here? Man, I was trying to go live and do some film review, but they've been dogging everybody on these film reviews. And I had shit set up earlier, and YouTube was not working. Did y'all have a problem with YouTube? Because I was getting smashed on YouTube. I couldn't get nothing to work. That's why this live is so late. All right. Let's check this out. Check this out. So Aiden O'Connell last year in the 6 starts that he had last year versus Daniel Jones, right? For the Colts, the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Completion percentage. Daniel Jones, 71.3. Aiden O'Connell, 64.94. But right now, that would be third best in the NFL. Passing yards. Daniel Jones, 1,290. Aiden O'Connell, 1,057. Yards per attempt, 8.6 for Daniel Jones, 6.6 for Aiden O'Connell, who was, you know, in them handcuffs, right? They only let him throw when, you know, when he thought it was good. Touchdowns, they both had 6. Interceptions, they both had 2. Passer rating, Daniel Jones is 114. Aiden O'Connell's was 88.5. Sacks, Daniel Jones has taken 4. Aiden O'Connell took 7. I mean, compared to Geno Smith, I have that on here too somewhere. Hold on. All right. Aiden O'Connell, 2024, his first 6 games, because, you know, he didn't start. Then he got hurt. He got hurt in one. So 2 games, he only played like a quarter. So this is 2 of those games where he only played less than a half. Aiden O'Connell in 5 games, 65% completion percentage, 1,280 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 7 sacks. Geno Smith, 65% completion ratio, 1,176 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 less, 9 interceptions, 7 more, and 16 sacks, 9 more. So you tell me if Aiden O'Connell is playing better. You tell me. Keeps deleting Furpo's messages. Good lord. Furpo going crazy, bro. Do you smoke Winston Reds? Nah, bro. I don't smoke them trash cigarettes. I smoke American Spirits. Estimated stats line for Gino week 7, passing 22 completions, 35 attempts, 235 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 4 carries, 12 yards, 0 touchdowns. Whew. Raiders need a young coach to start from there. I mean, right? Look, John Gruden took over. He was 4-12, 4-13. How they played less games, right? 4-12 back then. Those shirts are funny as hell. Well deserved. I think they're well deserved, man. And you know, they're just for me. You don't have to go get one, but if you want one, you can. Hey guys, nice and chilly. Okay, boy. Fucking what? Furpo erased like 5,000 messages. It wasn't just a comment, it was intent overall. Because I couldn't even log in to short videos to watch anything. I can't believe you were in a mod all this time, bro. That's my bad, yo. Gino is awful. I mean, he hasn't played well at all. He hasn't played well at all. Stop spamming. Who deleted the messages? Message deleted, James Furpo. Oh. James deleted. Oh, Furpo deleted the message. Whose messages are you deleting? Why are they spamming the chat? Thanks for those stats, Rebel. I mean, that's solid numbers for Aiden O'Connell. Solid numbers for Aiden O'Connell. Did you know that Aiden O'Connell, in his first 17 games, leads every quarterback in Raider history in every category? Every category. Raiders are horrible. Genty will leave as soon as his rookie contract is up. Max is an idiot for wanting to stay in Las Vegas. Go Birds. Damn. I appreciate your opinion. Ramirez Sox. Sorry if I butchered her name. Raiders are garbage. Arnie Garza, what it do? Go to the channel for birds. Right? Right? What kind of bird? An eagle? A falcon? A cardinal? What kind of birds, bro? What kind of birds we talking here? Which player is the biggest disappointment on offense and defense? I mean, if you look at the numbers, people could say Caillou Blue Kelly. He's given up the most passing yards and the worst quarterback rating out of all corners in the NFL this year. But then if you look at his tackles, if you look at his stops, he's up there in the top. So I don't know. There's appreciate the coffee. What's good? Cappuccino, what was that? I've never even seen that before. That was freaky as hell. But shout out to whoever did that. I don't know. The biggest disappointment on offense and defense. The biggest disappointment right now. You can't really blame anybody for being a disappointment because Dante Thornton Jr., I guess you can put it on him, but he's a 4th round rookie that hasn't really got too many reps. When he has, the ball's been thrown at his feet. It's been thrown over his head. It's been thrown into double coverage and blamed for interceptions. So, I don't know, bro. That's hard to say. I would say Brock Bowers being hurt. Not that it's his fault, but that's the biggest disappointment on offense, in my opinion. Jordan Meredith, struggling to play center. I think it's a disappointment, but he's getting better, right? His numbers are getting up there. His numbers are getting up there every week, every week. So I think this coaching staff knows what they're doing, except for at the quarterback position. I just can't stand by the quarterback decisions. And, you know, I don't know what they're waiting for. I really don't. So the biggest disappointment has to be Geno Smith on offense. I mean, I thought he would at least end the season with, 30 plus touchdowns, 15 interceptions. I was hoping 15 or less, but realistically, I wasn't expecting it. I was just hoping for it. So Geno is obviously the biggest disappointment on offense. I think Brock Bowers being hurt is a disappointment for the fans. On defense, Isaiah Powell-Mao, bro. Isaiah Powell-Mao. He's been horrible in coverage. He hasn't been tackling well. He's been out of place. It looks like he doesn't know the system. Strong safety seems like more of his repertoire. So for me, I think Isaiah, right? I haven't been happy with his play. Isaiah and Caillou Blue Kelly. But Caillou Blue Kelly's young, man. He was an undrafted, free agent, just like Isaiah Powell-Mao. So, I don't know. What do my guy ever farted you had backpacks? What? Why are there so many clowns all the time? Every single Raider is a disappointment, just like their fans. Shout out to my guy Kevin. Great job. Question: is trading Jacoby Myers? What would I ask for? What would the team want for him? I mean, if you just let him play out his contract, if you just let Jacoby Myers play out his contract, you're going to get at least a fourth, right? Right? Because you're going to release him in free agency, let him go to another team, and he's going to produce there. They're going to be smart enough to get him the damn football, and he's going to produce. So I wouldn't take nothing less than a fourth. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to give up a third for a guy that a lot of people, don't value as a number one. Which, in my opinion, he just don't have those number one traits, right? He don't have the speed. He can't stretch the defense. There's a lot of things. But catching-wise, that hard hat mentality, blocking, all the things that a number one, receiver really don't do. Unless you're Devontae Adams back in the day. So, a fourth. I want at least a fourth if you're trading them. But I hope they're smart enough to trade for another player of value, right? Somebody that can help this team win. And I don't know what that position is because I'm pretty happy with the defensive line. I think Justin Simmons would be a nice, pickup. One of these guys, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who was just released. Raider Knight, what it do? Appreciate you, my guy. Welcome as always. C.J. Gardner-Johnson was just released, I do believe, by the Jets. I would go after that kid. Young man, plenty of upside, right? I think in a Pete Carroll system with Patrick Graham, they could really help him out. I don't know if we need another corner or not because they won't play Darian Porter Jr., who has been our best corner, better than Eric Stokes. So, I mean, I don't know. At least a third for Jacoby, though. I mean, at least a fourth for Jacoby. I wouldn't go any less. LOL, waiting to be a mod is sus. Man, shut your mouth, bro. Coming here talking shit about my peeps. He wasn't waiting. I just didn't know he was because I don't always go on YouTube. Usually I'm on the computer. And on the computer, on the app, how the fuck am I explaining to you, bro? Never mind. Shut up. Average Raider Meth Head. Your mom's an Average Raider Meth Head lover. Fucking clown with your meth shit. He was talking about Tweety Bird. Who is Tweety Bird? Question, who, what? question: who will get to play first, Kenny Pickett or AOC later in the season? Which game do you believe will they replace Geno? Arnie, I know you've heard me say it before. Pete Carroll's love for Geno will never ever die, and you'll never get him replaced. The man can have 30 interceptions, and he's still gonna believe in him. If you hear him talk about him, you know, you see that twinkle in his eye, like Mark Davis used to look at Tom Brady, right? Whenever you see Mark Davis talking to Tom Brady, you'd be like, oh. Right? Just totally in love with the dude. So that's the vibes I get from Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. And I've said it since day one. Our biggest downfall on the Las Vegas Raiders will be if Geno sucks, Pete Carroll's not going to have the balls to pull him. And it's been proven. We're now in 6 games going into 7. Geno has sucked in every single game but one. And he should have been pulled. Whether it was for a quarter, whether it was for a game, whether it was for a half, he should have been pulled. At least for a half. Put in Kenny Pickett. If he's not any better, then put Geno back in. See if it fixes anything. But Pete Carroll's love for Geno Smith is going to be the Raiders' downfall. I don't think this team is as bad as people believe it is. I believe when your quarterback throws 3 interceptions in a game, the rest of your team is going to fold, bro. I mean, no matter what team you're on. So I don't see Geno getting benched. The only way either one of those people play is if Geno gets hurt. And, I mean, that's the way it is, bro. There's nothing, I don't think there's anything Geno can do to convince Pete Carroll that he's not an elite top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And that's going to be a problem for us. It's going to be a problem for this whole season because I believe some of these games we could have won if Aiden O'Connell was in there or even Kenny Pickett, because the mistakes that Geno has made, the holding on to the ball, the not hitting the wide receivers that are wide flipping open, that, you know, somebody with one eye or that wears glasses like me could see, you know. So it's bad, man. It's bad. He's been absolutely horrible. The Raiders lead the NFL in turnovers. Only one of those are not Geno Smith's. Geno has 10 turnovers. The Raiders have 11. We have 1 turnover that has not gone to Geno Smith, and we lead the league in turnovers, but that's not a problem. He's practicing. He's going to get better. Nah, bro. Geno's going to play no matter what. Homie is talking about his love for cocktails. There's a lot of deleted shit. Geno Smith doesn't know how to slide when he should be ashamed of it. Magic Johnson, 1,000%, man. The dude about tore his leg in half trying to slide. Like, if you can't even get sliding right, who the hell would even think you're a starting quarterback in the NFL? And nobody has. The only person ever in the NFL that thought Geno Smith was a starting quarterback has been Pete Carroll. Think about it. The Jets, for 1 year, drafted him and let him start. That was it. They were like, oh, shit, we made a bad choice. We're going to have to eat it. The Raiders are going to have to do the same thing. They're going to have to eat it. Conor McGregor, what it do? Screw the Raiders. You just farted. Good for you, bro. How's it smell? Does it taste good? Rebel, that's facts. Geno on offense, IPM on defense, biggest disappointments. Yeah. I mean, it's clear. Clear as day. Unless you're Pete Carroll. Chiefs are beating the hell out of the Raiders on Sunday. How much you want to put on that? How much you got? Just like the Raiders. Go Chiefs. FKC, that's what, yeah. What Geo said. What Geo Max said. Pete Carroll will get it together, believe. Raider Knight, I appreciate you, my guy. I believe that was the coffee thing. Appreciate you. Every time I see CeeDee Lamb, I wonder why didn't we draft him? Every time he drops a ball, I think, damn, I'm glad we didn't draft him. He's all right. I mean, he's all right. But there's so many times when the game is on the line, like Geno Smith, the dude just can't make a damn play, bro. He can't make a play. Y'all need to get rid of Geno Smith, the GOAT. I mean, thank you, Captain Obvious, bro. You're a huge Chiefs fan? Let me ask you a question, Nathan A. Manning. How long you been a Chiefs fan? Like, how huge of a Chiefs fan are you? Name me 4 quarterbacks in Chiefs history. without looking at Google. Even with the mass injuries so far for the Niners, we still have 10 times better chance than you fools not only reaching the playoffs, but possibly winning the bowl. I mean, I wouldn't go crazy with that. Robert Salah, I was screaming at the Raiders, go get this man. Let Chip, sorry, I was trying to read that at the same time. Let Patrick Graham go. I mean, Patrick Graham's bend don't break defense, folding at the end on every team we've played, right? Just let them drive down. It doesn't matter if we're ahead. What if one of those teams would have scored? I mean, we already got beat. It didn't matter. In Chicago, we missed a field goal. But Chicago came down, tied the game up. Tennessee was coming down, trying to drive. I think they beat themselves. Robert Saleh's a hell of a defensive coach. And, you got one of the best offensive, defensive mind coaches there is. So the 49ers always have a chance, right? They always have a chance. But right now, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Y'all have lots of problems. And I don't think you can win with the backups you got. The depth is getting less and less. Go Raiders, Childers from Brazil. Appreciate you, my guy. Adriano. We'll just go with Adriano, because I can't even try to say those last ones. Buffalo is winning it all this year. Magic Johnson, have you seen them? Have you seen their last 2 games? They straight got WWE through the mud by a team in their division with a second-year quarterback in the Patriots. And then they come out and get walked again against the Falcons. Was it the Falcons that beat them? I don't think they're winning at all, bro. They have major problems over there. One is they have one of the best running backs in the NFL, and they don't use them. If I had Cook, I'd be passing the ball out of the backfield. I'd be running, he'd be touching the ball at least half the times on every drive for right now. I mean, who you have over there? Kincaid? Like, come on. Did you hear Brock Bowers not coming back till after the bye week? Yes. AOC will probably be back after the bye week. Brock Bowers, it's there's no guarantee Brock will be back after the bye week. So, F the Raiders. WNBA team is champs. Falcon. 7969. The Aces. Are you talking about the Aces being champs again? I mean, it's got to come for the Raiders, right? If you look at the Las Vegas history, the Knights came in there. They started dominating. The Aces came in there. They started dominating. The Raiders are just slowly bringing it together, right? Slowly. There's a lot of teams that are, way above the Raiders on the roster totem pole, on the talent totem pole. I think the Raiders have one franchise, they have one Hall of Fame player on their roster right now. Some teams have 3 or 4. So, we'll be all right. Geno is not the worst quarterback in the NFL. It's the coaching. All right. Let me know why it's the coaching. Rock Y84. I love AOC, but the organization isn't giving him any respect. You can contribute that to a guy that's got 200 followers out there that, on every live made sure to say he was nothing but a backup and get him out of there when he outplayed every guy they put in front of him, making 10 times his money. So, yeah, crazy talk. It's crazy. AOC is better at reading defense than Gino, the blind man. He's better at a lot of things, bro. He's better at a lot of things. And, I screamed it all camp long. If the Raiders and Pete Carroll, stood on business like he says he stands on business, there would have been a quarterback competition. There would have been a quarterback competition. Not just between Aiden, but between Cam Miller, between Carter Bradley, between Aiden, all of them, right? They're out there throwing at the same time. And I'm going to go back and find some of those films and show them. Aiden O'Connell was getting the ball out faster. He was reading the reads faster in practices. And, I made note of it over and over and over again. And when I did, the big time guys, I'm going to say no names, but try to blast me on their channel and shit. There's no way there's any competition. I know, because Pete Carroll won't allow it to be a competition. But there should have been from day one. Gino is a vet. He's already hit his ceiling. There ain't much better, right? I mean, at 34 years old, you've been a backup for 10 of your 14 years in the NFL. You've been a backup for the first 10 years of your career. It took you 10 years to get it together. And Pete Carroll really believes that he's going to put it together the rest of the season? Come on, man. It took Gino 10 years before he figured out how to play in the NFL. And that was only because he took over a Super Bowl team. A team that been to back-to-back Super Bowls. I wouldn't mind seeing Baker Mayfield in the Super Bowl. He's made a great comeback. And, Baker Mayfield is another reason why I say the Raiders should stick with Aiden O'Connell. When you look at history, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, these guys that were tossed around, passed around, even Carson Wentz out there, playing his ass off in Minnesota. Then you got the 49ers quarterback, right? So, all these guys that were overlooked, that were first-round picks, that never had a quarterback, a coaching staff believe in them, or build a system around them, or build a system around their strengths, or bring in guys, to complement their strengths. And then they go somewhere else, and somebody else does it, paying them way less money, and, has a quarterback like Baker Mayfield that's going to take your team to the playoffs every year, as long as he's healthy. And even if he's not healthy, the dude will play injured. So, yeah, man, shout out to Baker Mayfield. This year's team is better than their record. Last year's team was better than their record, bro. Last year's team was way better than their record. Last year, we had excuses. We had 7 starters. 5 of them missed half of the season. 2 of them missed the whole season on defense, out. That's a big, big part of it. This year, most of the guys are healthy. The defense has played its ups and downs. But I've said on this channel, and if you don't follow this channel, well, damn, what the hell you waiting for, man? Follow the channel, Raiders Unleashed. But I've said on this channel over and over again, the Raiders, by week 5, this defense will be somebody teams do not want to play. It took till week 6, right? They didn't get it all quite together with the Colts, but they were, 1% getting better. So last week, to me, the defense looked like they put it together on all phases. They stopped the run. They didn't give up a whole bunch of passing yards. They put pressure on the quarterback. They turned over the ball. And I think this defense is carrying that momentum every single game. I think it'll happen in KC. I think it'll happen with Jacksonville. I think this defense is just going to continue to get better if they stay healthy. Now the offense has got to catch up, bro. The offense is, was projected to be way ahead of the defense. The defense was going to be so behind. We were going to have a top 10 offense in the NFL. All this shit, it's none of it's coming true. None of it's coming true. Geno Smith looks like the guy from LinkedIn. F the Bills. Preach, bro. Douglas Slaymaker. Appreciate it. Jets are a sorry-ass team. The Jets have the only quarterback in the NFL who has not thrown an interception this year. The only quarterback. There's only one quarterback with 0 interceptions, Justin Fields. He threw for 300 yards, 300 yards, 200 yards. And they can't win a game? But you have the best defensive coach, Some said the best defensive coach going around, best young defensive coach out there. That's why they went and made that move and, brought him to the Jets to be a head coach. I don't know, bro. I don't know what's going on with the Jets. I have no idea. They're not buying into what the coaches, they're not picking up what the coach is putting down. And that could be a problem. That could be a problem. But Justin Fields, I said, should have been a Raider for the last 2 years, man. 2 years. Just imagine how Justin Fields played last year with Pittsburgh and how he's playing this year with the Jets. If he played that good with the Raiders defense the last 2 years for a 6th-round pick, we could have had Justin Fields for a 6th-rounder. No. We could have let Aiden O'Connell play for $1.4 million and used $24 million 2 years ago that we spent on Gardner Minshew to build the offensive line, to bring in a good linebacker that can cover, right, that has speed, because we let Amari Gaynor go. Shout out to Amari Gaynor. Yeah, man, I don't know. There's so much shit wrong with this team, bro. Facts at the GOAT, we need to get rid of Geno. Our OC is the biggest problem. I don't think Chip Kelly is the problem. I don't think it is. I think he's butting heads with Pete Carroll right now on what he wants to do that works for Geno, and I think Pete Carroll doesn't believe him. I think Pete Carroll is blind to the Geno effect, and it's causing a problem inside the locker room. Because when your coach and your offensive coordinator are doing this constantly over what they're trying to accomplish with these guys, it's a problem. And to me, that's what I see. That's what I see. I see a head coach and an offensive coordinator that don't have the same philosophy or the same vision of how they want to build this team for the future. And I think they're both making huge mistakes. I mean, that's huge mistakes. Tom needs to put the cleats back on. Come on, man. We don't need a 50-year-old quarterback. Come on. What did he do in Seattle for us to spend the money on him? Nothing, bro. Nothing. He's never won a playoff game. He's been on a team with a top 10 defense all 4 years he was in Seattle. They saved his ass. He had DK Metcalf. You just throw the ball up in the air, and DK's going to go get it. Smith and Jigba. Throw the ball in the air. He's going to come down with it most of the time. And his route running is ridiculous. Those guys went and attacked the football, right? They had guys on the team that attacked the football. Geno is waiting for routes to finish. He's not leading receivers. He's not throwing guys open. And the receivers are not attacking the football. Because they're like, damn, bro, I'm running the hell out of these routes. Trey Tucker has 4.7 or 8 yards separation this year. That's for every game, averaging 4.8 yards of separation. He should kick the ball at least 10 times a game. Two. Jack Besh, averaging 3.17 yards separation. He didn't even get the ball, but he was open. And then Geno Smith has the balls to stand up there in his press conference and talk about, oh, Jack Besh, I'm going to try to give him the ball every time I can. I'm going to try to get, Michael Mayer the ball anytime I see him. If these guys are open, I'm getting them. Man, shut the hell up with that garbage, bro. Shut up. Geno was the worst decision we have ever made since Jamarcus Russell. And it's facts. And that's all on Pete Carroll. Put 5 with my fin. Best believe the corners that you thought something writers what? Brought more scissors. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what you're saying, bro. I can't even read that shit. Geomex, I do not want Baker Mayfield to win the Super Bowl. Don't like him in person. He doesn't deserve. What? Come on, bro. Baker Mayfield has fought his ass off in this league. Man, every time I see Baker, I wish we would have gotten him before the Rams. Dude, I said during that Rams game, as soon as it was over, go get Baker Mayfield. We had Jared Stidham as our coach. I was on YouTube screaming, go sign him now. Go sign him. Call the Rams. What do you want? because they weren't going to keep him. They knew damn well they were going to get rid of him, and they would have been more than happy to get, you know, a 6th round, a 7th round, anything for him at that point. They had already cut Carr. Man, they don't listen to me, bro. They don't listen to me. So far, I said Baker Mayfield. I even said, you know, as far as bringing in Carson Wentz as a backup and a mentor for Aiden O'Connell and let him play out the season. Carson Wentz is balling it out. Last year, I said, who was it? Who the hell did I want? I mean, all the guys in the top 7 except for except for Caleb, right? I would have took most of those guys. But my number 1 guy was Drake May in the draft. I mean, last year's draft, Drake May is just balling out, bro. Balling out. Beats the Bills. The kid's a dog, right? I said Jackson Dart this year. Jackson Dart, balling out. The quarterback, Spencer Rattler, bro. Spencer Rattler. Everybody in Raider Nation, mostly severe Raider, was screaming, go get Spencer Rattler, right? I was talking, you know, Spencer Rattler, 5th round, 4th round. Instead, we got Tommy Eichenberg. Tommy Eichenberg? I mean, damn. I don't know, what the hell, Jordan Travis? Travis Jordan, the dude that snapped his leg for Florida State, or Florida, wherever the hell he played. My brain ain't working. I would have took him in the 5th or 6th round, right? I don't know what he's doing, or I ain't heard shit from him. He's even still in the NFL. But, man, so far, all the quarterbacks I've said should be on the Raiders are balling out. The one I've been saying should be starting Aiden O'Connell don't get no love. So, crazy shit, bro. Yeah, I mean, Baker Mayfield just screams Raider, right? You got a dude going up there with no helmet, bam, headbutting people that's got helmets on. That's a Raider, bro. That's a Raider through and through. Everything about that dude screams Raider since he was in college. And even then, I was like, man, in the draft, bring him in, let him sit behind Derek Carr, right? Who had already broke his leg, who was already, you know, getting more timid. And I love Carr more than anybody, right? You know, best quarterback Raiders have ever had. But it would have been great to bring in Baker Mayfield, let him sit behind Derek Carr for 2 years, 3 years, right? Man. Imagine where we could be right now. Golly. I didn't want the Raiders to bring in Baker Mayfield either, so I'm happy his success elsewhere. You didn't want him to bring in Baker? Why, bro? Why? Everything about that dude, like I just said, is a Raider. His attitude, his character, his willing to, you know, not slide and just run over people as a quarterback. Like, that, everything he embodies is Raider. Like, crazy, dude. I think he'd be the greatest Raiders quarterback ever. Alex Smith, Chad Henne, Matt Castle, Mahomes. Damn, bro. I'm that far behind in the chat. Don't act like you didn't look this shit up on Google. I'm just messing with you, my guy. Trent Dilfer. Just because you said Trent Dilfer may have, I know you AI'd that shit, bro. Because only AI would say Trent Dilfer. Joe Montana, Alex Smith, Matt Castle, Froggy. God, I gotta read these chats faster. I gotta stop talking. All right, I can name 4 quarterbacks in Chiefs history. Mahomes, Joe Montana, Chad Henne. God, man, I really like Chad Henne, dude. I like Chad Henne. Coming out of college, I thought the kid had, you know, potential, but these guys, they draft these guys thinking that they're going to be Jackson Dart and you don't have to put anything around them and they're just going to come in and win you game after game after game and take you to the playoffs and win you Super Bowls. But that's not the case. Some of them, you know, they need the type of receivers that they love, right? Whether it's fast, whether it's physical, whether it's route running, right? Whether it's big, tall guys that they can just throw the ball up to. They need a run game. Some, you know, are mobile, don't need much of a run game. But these guys just draft them in the first round and think they're all going to come out and beat Jackson Dart, and it just doesn't happen, bro. It doesn't happen. So, I'm 63 years old. I've been a Raiders fan for 53 years. Raiders and Chiefs are not a rivalry because it's one-sided. Jeffrey Walker, okay, hot take. I mean, I get what Pete Carroll's saying. I get what you're saying, right? A rivalry is two teams that are neck and neck, right? Neck and neck, go back and forth. But if you look at the last 3 years, they went back and forth. We won one game. Last year, we should have won one game, right? A botched snap, the Raiders win that game. We take one game. We won, a game on Christmas Day before that. So I get it. I mean, I get what he's saying. It's not a rivalry because they've been beating our ass year in and year out. They're the top dog in the division. And if you want to be the top dog on the porch, you got to whoop the top dog's ass, right? You go to a new school. If you don't want to get messed with, you go to new school, you find the biggest, baddest dude in there, and, you get at it. Win or lose. People are going to be like, that dude's crazy. Don't mess with him. So, that's the mentality you got to have. And I get what he's saying. I get it. But it's still a rivalry, bro. Any team in our division in the AFC West is a rivalry, and it's always been a rivalry. Whether it's the Chargers who never won a Super Bowl, it's still a rivalry. It's still the battle, from LA, Oakland, Los Angeles, San Diego. The Donkeys is always, that's one of the most hated teams for me is the Denver Broncos. So I don't understand him saying that. And you're trying to downplay a game that everybody in that locker room before you were here gets up for. They get up for that game, not because they've been dog walked and, dominated over and over again, but they get up for that game because they believe it's a rivalry, because they know that's the top of the ladder, and you got to knock some runs off that bitch to bring them down, to our level. So, for him to downplay it just irritated me. But I agree with it. I agree with you. The version of a rivalry, definition of a rivalry, it's not. But if you look at the Raiders and you look at the AFC West, anytime we play, whether we're good, whether we're both bad, whether we're both good, whether one's been dominating and one hasn't, it's a bloodbath, bro. It's a bloodbath. Unless you're Aiden O'Connell and you throw 4 touchdowns in the first half against the Chargers. I'm just saying, my bad. Call him Patrick Mahomes. What? Patrick Mahomey? Oh, damn. We're still naming Chiefs quarterbacks? Shout out to y'all, bro. I apologize for being way behind. Football is scripted. Sometimes you would think, yes, AOC is a better quarterback for me. If Josh Allen was our quarterback, we would go to the Super Bowl. I don't know, bro. That's hard to say. I feel like we have a better, defense up front, like the front 7. And then, maybe 8 if you want to throw Jeremy Chin in there. But then after that, I don't know. So we would be more competitive, definitely. And I think if Josh Allen was on our team, we'd definitely beat the Chiefs because our defense has been Chief killers, man. We've been Patrick Mahomes killers, for the last couple years. So, but Josh Allen would be crazy, bro. Tone Dev. Gino! Go check out the shirts. You think they're going to start Kenny Pickett? Never. Will max intoxication be sober for the game? What? Stop playing, bro. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that shit. Colts and Bills AFC Championship. 49ers Bucks NFC Championship. I can see the Colts and Bills if the Bills get it together. But I could really see a sneaky link team, popping up in there. I don't want to say it, but in our division. I'm not gonna put that out there in the universe. But the Colts and somebody in our division, probably more than likely going to be the AFC Championship. The NFC Championship, I would say the Bucks and The way it's looking, bro. The way it's looking could possibly be the Giants. I mean, that team is fired the hell up. They're playing lights out. Raiders and Charger rivalry. Two people forgot that. What? Oh no, that's what I said. It's always a rivalry, bro. Always a rivalry. What are you? What do you mean, what am I? I'm a human being? What the fuck are you? Larson V? What number are they trolling, bro? Just block them. Kick them out. Boot them. I'm tired of seeing deleted messages. If it's the same person, just... Done. Snipe. Snipe them. Raiders, my boy. Gotta switch from winning side, baby. Chiefs, how about them? How about those Chiefs? How about those Chiefs, man? How about those Chiefs? Like I said, they held one of the best running backs in the NFL, and Jahmyr Gibbs to 65 yards. Patty Mahomes threw up 4 touchdowns, and they didn't even have Rashid Rice, who's coming back. It's gonna be a problem, bro. How about the Chiefs? 31-21. Kick brick 23. I see you. Sorry about the game. Has passed Pete up. I will always love Pete Carroll for bringing us a Super Bowl, but his decisions cost us multiple chances to be contenders, including a Super Bowl to the Patriots. Shout out to Sports Jazz fan. I agree 100%. I think his decision making, I think his eye for talent, I think his stubbornness as an old man and not willing to admit when he's wrong are killing the Raiders. 100%, they're killing the Raiders. I don't know what the hell. Ice Baby, forget the separation, people. That's pretty shallow. What? Ice Baby. Right? Pretty shallow. Pretty shallow. Damn. Sorry, my whole thing just, I lost where I was. Carson Wentz to help the Raiders is a smart move. I mean, it would have been, right? It would have been. AOC would have been hurt. Carson Wentz could have came in, played a couple games. You know, played way better than Geno. A guy that's won a Super Bowl, that's been there, that knows what it's like. I'm not a Dodgers fan, but I respect that. Mexican lover. Go check out the Oakland, Vegas, LA beanies. Just dropped. Go check them out if you like the Dodgers and the Raiders. If not, then go, don't. Oh, man. Switch to the best team in the NFL. Bro. 50 years, bro. 50 years. I ain't switching on nobody. He's switching on nobody. Zigzag. Peace. Way better quarterbacks than him. Who? The Bears? Chiefs suck. Blah, blah, blah. Chargers. Ice Baby. Yeah, Minutes. They're leaving Kelly, but they'll be what? Oh, you're talking about the Oakland A's? Holla Twin. I think Chiefs run. Travis Kelce, always on the bench, is ready to retire. I told him, man, that Cooter does strange things to people, right? You fall in love, you lose your passion for one thing, and you gain a passion for another thing. So love does strange things to a man. Cooter will change guys. And I think, he's got that gleam in his eye, right? They're about to get married. He's about the end of his career. I said this before the season started, that I believed the Chiefs, dominance and reign was over. Somebody else was winning the AFC this year. I was hoping it would be us, but like I said, Geno had to play lights out, and he didn't help me. He didn't help me on my predictions. just beat the Lions. I know, man. That was a good-ass win. A good-ass win. And your team's on a roll. Kansas City's hot, right? They put it together last week, the week before. You know, they got back to 500. I wish kind of we were there, but it is what it is. Their defense is on fire right now, and they're starting to click, and they're getting back one of their fastest, best weapons. So, you know, this is a big test. This is a big test for Patrick Graham. It's a bigger test, I think, for Chip Kelly, because if Chip Kelly can't scheme up ways to get Ashton Jeanty open, which he hasn't been able to do through 6 weeks, the Chiefs are going to walk all over us, bro. They're going to beat our ass. And we have to get help. You paid attention to the North Korean language lately? It's on fire. What? I don't know. I think the Jets fitting to win out and squeeze into the playoffs. Whew, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. Bro, the Raiders frauds, or are they back? They're not back yet, bro. They're not back yet. We still got an uphill climb. And until we get a coach that, you know, knows what a quarterback looks like, what he smells like, what he feels like, no pun intended, they're not going to win shit. They're not going to win shit. They keep overlooking the one in the building that's cost us, you know, 3 years now of heartache. So, but the defense looks back. The defense looks back. When Brock Bowers comes back with Ashton Jeanty and Michael Mayer, I mean, they're a problem. They're a problem for any team in the NFL at this point. Donald J. Plump, go Donkeys. Shout out to the Broncos. No, yeah, but the Chiefs have drama, a lot of drama going on. They do have, you know, Kelsey and Patrick Mahomes look like they got drama. The coach and Mahomes, I mean, the coach and Kelsey look like, you know, they got shit going on. There you go, Rui Hachimura. I love Rui for the Lakers. I'm supposed to be watching this Lakers game. Y'all got me talking to you. No, y'all don't have the roster anymore to win a ring. I disagree, man. I disagree, right? If Tyree Wilson continues to pick it up like he's picking it up, if Thomas Booker continues to play like he's playing, if Jonah Laulu, who I said, man, go follow the channel if you're not already followed to the channel. Last year, I said Jonah Laulu was going to be our best defensive lineman this year. That was before we got rid of Wilkins. That was with Wilkins being on the team. He showed me so many things watching tape. His burst, his get-off, his technique. Like, the man knows what he's doing. The spin move he used to get to the quarterback yesterday, I'll break it down on film. If they let me, I'm going to break it down. But, man, the spin move that he did, right? Chop the arm down. Spin around like you're trying to ice pick somebody, right? Like you're coming around with an ice pick. Perfect move by Jonah Laulu. Swipe the arm down, comes around, gets the guy behind him. So when he spins, the guy is blocked out, has no opportunity to make the play. Jonah Laulu is an absolute dog, man. And with him and Tyree, as young as they are, when they put it together with Malcolm Kuntz, this defensive line is going to be frightening. And they're getting there. They're right there. Now, they need help on the back end, right? They can't keep giving up the big plays, and that's due to the, you know, to Caillou Blue Kelly. But not all of it. But this defense is going to be, I mean, if they just figure out the quarterback, if they just give Kenny Pickett or Aiden O'Connell one chance for a half to see, does this offense have a better flow? Does it have a rhythm, right? Is it not stagnant like it is with Geno? If they just take that time, I think the Raiders could go on a run. Even looking at their schedule, I think there is no team that we can't hang with if we play our game, not turn the ball over, don't make mistakes, don't miss tackles, which, you know, at this point is rough. But Donald J. Pump, most of those were with Elway. Chiefs by 2 touchdowns? Nah, bro, they haven't beat us that bad in a long time. Mark this shit down. The only way the Chiefs beat us by more than 2 touchdowns is if Geno throws more than 2 interceptions. If Geno holds it to 1 interception, I think we make it a game. Have you seen that movie before with Pete Carroll? Oh, yes. Previous seasons with Seattle. Shout out to Sports Jazz. You got a channel, man? Drop your link in there. People go check him out. Tom Telesco is our Achilles heel. What? Tom Telesco's not even in the building anymore, my guy. He's gone. He's gone. He's done. But yeah, it kind of was. Hey, brother David here. Yo, invest into a pink market question. Hopefully you're trading only price value. What? I don't know what any of that means, bro, but shout out to my guy David Howard. If the Raiders can score points, I got them with the upset. Retro X. If I didn't shout you out, I appreciate you in the building. Why does it say I deleted the message? I didn't delete nobody's message. That's weird. Crazy. Cameron, is there any twerking with this performance? With my performance? Bro, you don't want to see me twerk. You don't want to see me twerk. And if you do, you got a problem. Can I twerk? Yeah. But am I? No. No. I got moves, bro. Got moves like Jagger in this bitch. Sorry about the game. Yeah, I read that. Okay, I know where I'm at now. I deleted their message when you boot them. Cool. You paid attention to North Korea? What the hell? No. Think people hate on Mahomes because he's overrated and played in the league in 2008. He would be a backup quarterback? What? I don't think Mahomes would ever be a backup quarterback, bro. He's got the main thing it takes to be a quarterback. Not Raiders. Not once a Raider, always a Raider. Brains, bro. Brains. He has intelligence. The quarterback position is the most intelligent position on the field. It's a fact. Ask anybody. They have to know everybody's job. The defense, the offense, the playbook. You have to be a damn, fucking Yale scholar to play quarterback, even in college, let alone football. So Mahomes is smart as hell, bro. He's not athletic, he's got a big old gut like this, but he's crafty, dude. He's crafty. He knows how to be slippery and slimy and get away from guys and throw a pump fake to get guys to stop so he can pick up another 10, 15 yards. Something Gino has never done in his life, a pump fake. Oh, he does pump fake. He pump fakes because he doesn't want to throw the ball and then he gets sacked. But other than that, do you think Brady can help turn around the Raiders eventually? I don't know, man, because I don't know how much say Brady has, right? We've seen him at the game with the headset on. There was a problem with that, right? He's got his money involved in it. He did, there were talks of him picking Cam Miller as, being a Brady pick. But I don't think he has as much, I've said this since day one, too. I don't think Brady's going to have as much say in this organization as people think. Now, I'm sure they're going to ask him his opinion on shit. But so far, him allowing as an owner, them to bring in Geno Smith, I kind of lost respect for him too. I'm telling you, to be honest, bro. To be honest. The Raiders just stay on home on defense and set routes. They have opportunities to get picks all day. Mahomes go left or right through the middle 24/7. Yeah, but then if they just stay at home and don't, that's the problem, is they can, they got to cage rush, bro. You got to cage rush. You can't have, guys playing the Ghost 9 out there or the Reaper 9 or whatever the hell you want to call it. Way the hell out there playing in the cornerback position. You can't have those guys doing that. They need to be in tight. They need to in cage everybody, and they need to stop the middle. Right? You need to have a spy, whether it's a Landon Roberts, whether it's Jamal Adams. It doesn't matter. Whether it's Devin White, whose coverage grade is ass, and I really can't believe people think because of a interception landed in his hands and he had a creative fumble that he was player of the game. Y'all just don't watch football, but so yeah, man. I don't know. I don't think Tom Brady is as involved as he wants to be. I think if he ever quits working for Fox, he possibly could. But the fact that he brought Geno in here, man, that I don't know. If the Raiders stay at home, that's what I was reading. Yeah, you got to cage rush. You got to keep him in the pocket, make him make the throws, because that's how he beats most people. Is he rolls out of the pocket, he throws on the run, or like I said, he pump fake, freezes guys, and picks up more yardage. So if they can keep him, bundled up, they got a chance. They got a chance. But as soon as he gets out of the pocket, and Max Crosby runs by him, or gets completely pushed out of the way by a fucking tight end, it's gonna be a problem, bro. The Raiders are worse than the Cowboys. Our defense is better. Our offense is. I'd take Dak Prescott any day of the week over Geno, Jackson Dart, and Scat Pack, right? Fun to watch. They are definitely fun to watch. Chazzy, what's good, my guy? Appreciate you. Got to announce y'all stream if you're going to talk shit. Got to announce y'all's team if you're going to talk shit, right? Right? If you're going to talk shit, who is your team? Good point, my brother. Good point. Shout out to Sports Jazz. Broncos have the longest winning streak in the NFL. What are you talking about? Where do you get your facts at? Oh, wait, they might. They won 2 in a row. 3? How many they won in a row? 2? I don't know. Colts might win the Super Bowl. I mean, we'll see what Daniel Jones does when it's crunch time, right? When all the marbles are on the line. I got to get something to drink, bro. When all the marbles are on the line, right? You got Jonathan Taylor, one of the best damn running backs in the NFL, all of the NFL, the history of the NFL, easily. So, their defense is playing lights out. I mean, they have as good a chance of anybody, really. But if you look at the teams they've really beaten nobodies, including the Raiders. I think the Raiders have a good chance of going 6-11. I mean, at this point, like I said at the beginning of the season, that would piss me the hell off, right? I'd rather stay with 1 or 2 wins, maybe win a game after 3 or 4. I don't want a 10-game losing streak again, or a 5-game losing streak, but, lose 4 games, win 1, lose 4 games. I don't want the Raiders drafted in the middle. There's too many holes. We need to build this team from the draft. And to build it from the draft, you need 2 draft picks in the first round. Definitely need 2 draft picks. They need to make some moves. They need to get all the, if they're trading Jacoby, get what you can for Jacoby. If you're trading Dylan Parham, right, whoever else you're, planning on trading, do it now. Do it now. Get everything you can and trade those picks for another first-round pick, because until we get top players at every position, they're just going to, continue to be bottom or mediocre. We're not even mediocre right now, but 6 wins would be okay. But damn, that puts us, 12th, 15th, in the draft? Man, all the good players will be gone by then. All the good players at the positions we need. So I'd rather just lose at this point. Go out there, keep Geno out there throwing interceptions and see where it lands. Make sure to double tap the screen. Appreciate you, Candy Angel. Broncos have the best D in the league. They are nasty, I know. At this point, Shedeur would fill the seats and could work with Chip Kelly. He'll probably could have the best-selling jersey, number 12, as the Raiders. Why not? We have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose by having another quarterback that, you know, might turn out to be Jamarcus Russell. Like, I know he's got an arm, but so did Jamarcus Russell, right? I know he's got accuracy, but so did Jamarcus Russell, right? The dude takes a lot of sacks, bro. I want to see Shedeur play so bad, like, more than Shedeur fans. Because watching his film and watching his film breakdown, I mean, he's good. He's a damn good quarterback. But there's a reason he was drafted in the 5th round, and it wasn't just his character, bro. It wasn't. And the Browns, they're not going to trade him because they want to know if they're trading Dylan Gabriel or if they're trading Shedeur. There's no way that franchise keeps going with those two neck and neck, with everybody wanting Shedeur to play like they do. There's no way Cleveland makes it. And that would be the problem we had in Vegas, right? If Shedeur was here, everybody would be screaming for Shedeur. The only reason they're not screaming for Aiden O'Connell is because they don't know football and don't know that Aiden's better than Geno and always has been. But if it was Shedeur, they'd be, come on, man. They'd be burning down Las Vegas right now because he's not playing and Geno's still in there. So it could be good, but it could be a huge, huge problem. And the Raiders would look so stupid if they tried to trade for him when they could have just drafted him in the 5th round. It would look dumb as hell to give up draft capital. And, you know, giving up draft capital for a guy that you don't know, there's a reason. There's a reason the Browns aren't playing him. I don't know what the reason is. But come on, man. I've seen that guy throw balls in practice that were, you know, wobbling like this. So he's out there, you know, giving it his all every day. He's putting 110% in. He's out there throwing on his off days, and he's getting better. But the NFL is a whole nother story. And that dude took 56 sacks in college. And you're telling me the Cleveland Browns or the Raiders have an offensive line to have Shedeur back there? I don't see that, bro. I don't see it. You got to have a top offensive line to let Shedeur play. And I think that's why the Browns are like, bro, we can't. Like, Dylan Gabriel, he's left-handed, right? He throws people off. He's going to move around. He's going to step up in the pocket and run. He's not going to stand back there and wait for plays to develop like Geno and Shedeur. They're basically the same quarterback. They're even friends, I think. They even hung out in the offseason. That shit would be funny. He's done been cooked. Adams S. Appreciate the gift, my guy. Appreciate the gift. Naronkos? What the hell is a Naronko? Is that a new word? Naronko's are on pace to break the team sack record. I know, bro. Not the team sack record, the NFL sack record. Not just theirs. Everybody's. They're on pace to break everybody's sack record. And Benito is on pace to break Strahan's sack record. Looking to have the back-to-back defensive player of the year with 2 different players. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. And then you got another up-and-coming one. And in the corner you just drafted, that was the corner I wanted, bro. I was like, man, he needs to be a Raider. Definitely needs to be a Raider. Why the hell can I think of his name? Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Go Birds? What kind of bird? Who the fuck is Benito? Never heard of that guy. I don't see him breaking any sack record. Other than TJ Watt. What do you mean you don't know who Benito is, bro? It's the defensive end for the Broncos. The dude's an absolute monster. He's a freak of nature. Geno is just a bridge quarterback? Man, Geno is an under-the-bridge quarterback. He would be homeless and out of football if it wasn't for Pete Carroll. Let's be honest. Let's really be honest. Bridge quarterback. That dude ain't a bridge. A bridge quarterback gets you through games, doesn't lose you games. The whole point of a bridge quarterback is he's the bridge. He's the bridge, right? He keeps you even, gets you across, over the hump. Like, that's a bridge quarterback. It's not to come in and lose you games. He's just to be a game manager, not turn the ball over, put some points on the board, and don't lose the game because, you know, you have a solid-ass defense. You can't have a bridge quarterback without a solid-ass defense. And Geno is not a bridge, bro. He's not. He's already signed for 3 years, so he's not like, okay, we're going to play him until we draft a quarterback next year or 2 years or 3 years down the road. He's not even a bridge, bro. He shouldn't even be a backup. Those passes that he's been making, the reads that he's been making are just blatantly ass, bro. Brady Chance, appreciate you. Raiders, go Chiefs. Have a good one, bro. Adams S, what's good? Appreciate you. 3 in a row is the longest streak in the NFL. Yeah, I corrected myself. I was like, damn, I think they won 3 in a row. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's the longest streak in the NFL is 3 games in a row. Geno is a bench warmer. He should be. Benito had 13.5 sacks last year, 3 fumble recoveries, 2 touchdowns last year. Did he really have 2 touchdowns? Holy shit, bro. I didn't know about the touchdowns. I knew about the sacks and the fumbles, but I didn't know he scored on 2 of those. Damn. Yeah, and people want to say Max Crosby is the best defensive end on the planet? Bro, trade Max Crosby. Trade Max Crosby. You never know when you're going to get a Benito. When was that dude? When was he drafted? What round was he drafted in? Leads the NFL in sacks and has the best odds to win defense. I mean, yeah, with numbers like that, bro, you're a dog. And he can tackle. That's one thing I'll say. He can tackle. Like, I'm going to break down some game film. I love Max Crosby. But the money he's making and the credit he gets, you got to be able to tackle, bro. You got to be able to tackle guys. I've never seen him use his shoulder pad to tackle somebody. It's always jumping on their back, you know, jumping on them, falling down, slipping underneath him. He got a sack for slipping and clipping the dude. He slipped, tripped him, and got the sack. Craziest shit I ever seen in my life, bro. Crazy shit. Steelers 27, Bengals 13 tomorrow. That's a good score prediction. That's a good score prediction. The battle of the old men. Whew, that's going to be rough, bro. Bro, Vegas is not a good city for football, right? I hear you, man. I hear you on that. The city that never sleeps. Cam Scatterboo 2028. I never heard of Benito either. Fuck the Broncos. I was dozing off and then heard the word Broncos. You got woke up to the Broncos, bro. That's some bullshit. I think the Indianapolis Colts are a playoff team. I think they're a deep playoff team. I think, you know, Shane Steichen's a hell of a coach. You have, you know, Daniel Jones on fire. You have the defense. I mean, they have everything they need. They have everything they need. All they need is to out-coach the other teams. You got to have a better game plan. They definitely have the weapons to get it done. Would you rather watch a tree grow or a knee grow? That's not even funny, bro. What kind of joke is that? Knees don't grow, bro. Unless you break it or tear an ACL and then it gets like this big. Fucking clowns. You lost to the Bears, go to bed. That's a good one. And I'm at the bottom, so I'm going to go to bed. The Edmonton Elks are staying ready for the CFL playoffs, my brother. Nice. Nice. I guess you did get me, my guy. You did get me. Why do you keep the beard and shave the mustache? It looks so. What? Mestico? What's a Mestico? I have a little bit of a beard. And usually my shit's, trimmed up. It's just not trimmed up right now. But, all right, man. I appreciate y'all. It's only Wednesday. We got 4 more days, so no predictions on the Chiefs game. But I will say, love one another, love yourself, take care of yourself, protect your mind. And if anybody wants to talk, or if you want to leave a mailbag, the hotline is on the community page. I appreciate everybody rocking with me this long. Appreciate to everybody in the building. Much love. My guy Furpo, my guy Geo Megs, all of the OGs always rocking with me, and everybody else that supports this channel. I love y'all. Peace. Raiders. Much love. Just beat the Chiefs, baby.